I feel like it's making you a little bit uncomfortable. So you're thinking back at the past, like the last time that this happened, how did I handle it? And I feel like for a lot of you, it might have been like reverting to a younger state, thinking about your younger self and asking yourself, how did I handle this last time? So I feel like something is coming in for the next 2 weeks that's reminiscent of something that you have experienced when you were younger. So I would say like 5, 10 years ago, when you were last like very optimistic, very just really happy. So the last time that you found yourself at a crossroads in some major life event in your life, and where you're feeling really really happy, because I don't feel sadness, I don't feel distress or anything like that. I feel a lot of joy, a lot of contentment, a lot of excitement like bubbling up. And you're thinking, the last time I was like this was, how did I handle it? How did I, how was I able to sleep at night? So I do definitely feel a new phase in your life is starting out. And I do feel for a lot of you, this is something concrete. It could be a job, it could be something that is taking you possibly to a new level. And I feel like you're feeling really, really good. But before this whole process happens, before this whole process can be implemented, what I feel is happening is that for a lot of you, this is like a major, major milestone. Okay, so you're trying to get everything lined up, you're trying to get everything in order, and you can't help but, be just really excited and I guess like purchasing, buying a lot more things, looking at and fantasizing about like that new couch, that new wardrobe. That this is such a major event in your life that you're just really excited. And be very careful about overspending, overindulgent for the next 2 weeks, because I feel that's coming through. I feel you're in a really good emotional space. And I feel as well, there's an element here about thinking about, very, very strong like soulmate connection. So I would say like you're at a point where, once again, I feel like a little bit of a decisiveness. Okay, you're looking at two things. One of them is very, very stable for you, and then the other one brought about a lot of this fluttery butterflies in the pit of your stomach. So you're looking at clearly two distinct things, and you're not budging. And I feel like in the position that you are, if you don't act soon, you're going to lose out on something. So actions, okay? And actions, it deals with, once again, don't overindulge, but I feel like you're caught in between two ideas. One is more of a fantasy. I don't feel it's grounded. I don't feel that it's practical. The other one is definitely practical, but because it's so practical, it might not be completely exciting, okay? So that's what I'm sensing here, and I feel like you're feeling very nostalgic this month. I feel a lot of you might get back in touch with people within your family or former friends and colleagues that you haven't really spoken to in a while. I feel parents going back to the parental home, having something to do with parents, possibly like anniversary or something dealing with elderly people. So I feel like parents and even people that you grew up with as well. So I do sense there are options for you. For those of you who are dealing with this situation in a love capacity, I feel like you might have two signs that you're choosing from. One is an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn. This is a new thing that is a new person, a new thing that is emerging in your life. And I feel like it's not seasoned enough, okay? It's stable, it's definitely stable. And I do feel like what you see is pretty much what you're getting with this person. I feel like they're not as talkative as you would like, or they're not as talkative as you would like. But I do feel they are stable, and they do want, they're looking for longevity, they're looking for stability. The other person that is really captivating your interest, your imagination, and your passion is a water sign. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And I feel like this is somebody where the passion, the love, and the excitement is definitely there. But I sense this person might be somebody coming back in that you've already know or already dealt with. and you're not really sure right now what to do. And I feel like the water sign might be serving as a little bit more of the temptation, and the water sign might be proving to be, that that unstable choice. I do feel the person is sincere. They seem to me to be, very emotionally in tune with you. But there's something here that says, there's some trigger warning. There's something of a temptation that might not work out for you long term if you're trying to reinvent yourself, rebuild yourself, if you're trying to start out a new phase in your life and you don't want to deal with, past emotional baggage. And I feel for a lot of you, even though the lure, the temptation is there, you might not go that route, okay? So I feel like for a lot of you, there will be many opportunities for celebrations for the next 2 weeks. I do feel like going to a place like I feel like it's in a warmer climate, looking at monuments, looking at arches is what I'm seeing. Arches, things that are built, and like going to an outdoor event where somebody resurrects something like a tent or like a temporary place to stay, and then I feel it dismantling by the end of that situation. So going to look at some very, very outstanding, beautiful architecture is what I'm sensing. What I'm feeling as well is you have a lot of intuitive, like, inspiration. I feel like, I don't know if a lot of you have recently started experiencing some type of astral projection. You might dream about somebody that you know in the current time, but in your dream, they look different. You look different, and it feels as if you know them from a different time. It's like you've known each other before, but from a different time. So you know it's them, your soul recognizes them, but they look different, and in the dream you might yourself look different. So I see this whole thing about, out of body experience, like astral projection and things like that. I also feel like you're being guided here. You have some strong options, and you're being guided to make a choice, okay? And your temptations, I feel like something is sparking your temptation, something is serving as a temptation for you. And I feel like it's really important for you to get yourself grounded, because, astral projection and things like that, it deals with like the lack of groundedness as well, where you are removed from the physical plane, from the physical body. So grounding meditation, I do sense, is going to be important for you. For a lot of you, there might be like internships and things like that coming through. I don't know why, but I'm getting almost like examinations. I'm getting some people receiving some type of diploma, some type of medal, some type of a contest, winning some type of a contest is what I'm getting as well. And I feel like if you're starting a brand new internship, you have high hopes, high expectations. So keep at it. It is going to serve you really well. I feel like you're not completely 100% happy with the salary that you're getting as a result of this new job or this new internship. I feel like it's a training internship. It's paid, but you might not get enough. So you're trying to find ways to, or you're thinking whether or not to even take it. I do feel it's going to be really prosperous for you down the line. Think of it as a launching pad, okay? Think of it as like stepping stones. Excuse me, think of it as a stepping stone rather than a launching pad. So I do feel this is something you're going to have to work at, and it can come to fruition later on, okay? At the bottom of the deck here, we do have the High Priestess in the reverse position. The High Priestess usually, when it shows up in the reverse, is basically our intuition, okay? Our intuition and our psychic abilities kicking in. A lot of the times, intuition kicks in to warn you against something or to direct you in a specific way. When I look at the tarot, I think about intuition is usually serving as trigger warnings. And the Hermit card, which is the spirit guide cards, is usually guiding you towards the path that you're meant to be. So I feel like the Hermit is showing up in the upright with the High Priestess in the reverse. They're telling you that you're meant for something more. You're meant for something better. So I guess try not to succumb to temptation. And especially, I feel for a lot of you, there is this sense about the temptation of the flesh, okay? So try not to succumb to temptation. And I do sense they're steering you away from it because you're meant for more, because there is something. I feel like something is already there in your environment that is serving as a better opportunity, okay? So keep that in mind. You do have some very strong divine guidance, and I do sense that the next 2 weeks, very, very strong indicators of making decisions, making choices, okay? And I feel for a lot of you, it's heavily contingent upon like oscillating between, going for the stable choice that might not be as exciting, and then going for something that is a little bit more surreal, that is a little bit more like emotionally you're very in tune with. But I feel like deep down, there's something wrong with this choice. It might have been a person from the past, it might have been somebody that is not right for you. So either way, I do feel some strong choices coming through. I do wish you the best, Libras. Enjoy the rest of your August. So we are moving now to Scorpio. Let's see what's going on for Scorpios. So, Scorpios. All right, Scorpios, welcome to August 2016 mid-month reading. Um the next 2 weeks is very, very heavy, relationship energies, and I feel like similar to the Libra reading, it is a lot about options and choices. So, first of all, for those of you who are parents, okay, with children, I feel like if you are in the process of trying to date again, trying to start your romantic life, I feel like there are a lot of considerations with children, okay? I mean, like on the one hand, you do want to enjoy your life. You do want to, choose people that are highly in tune with your energy. On the other hand, you feel like you have to find somebody that is stable to be around your children. And I feel like children figuring heavily for this month in terms of the romantic partners that you are choosing for yourself, because they are going to affect your family unit. A lot of you, there is this sense about, trying your best to make things work with the mother or the father of your child, of your children, okay? So I definitely feel like everything is very centered around children, around these karmic ties, around like, trying to incorporate or build up or mix your life with another person, trying to stabilize a blended family situation, trying to provide that foundation. And I feel like it is a lot of pressure on you, because I feel almost like there is somebody in your environment that you are very much, interested in, but they don't really fit the mold of the parent type. That's what I'm sensing. Or there might be, some situations about values, family values. One person wants family, the other person wants something else. And, the overall stability of that relationship, due to the innate differences between the two of you, that is becoming apparent for this month. I feel like if you're dealing with a fire sign, there is somebody in your life that you've known for quite some time, that you have a very strong, I feel like a very, very strong soul connection with, okay? Fire signs are Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. And I do feel there's this element of this person coming in here offering you a lot of love. I feel like this is a sincere, sincere, sincere offer. And I do sense that you are going to go with it. And I feel as well there is a sense of geographical distance between the two of you. So I don't know if you've had, you lived apart in the past, or if you're bridging the distance to go see them, or, you know, if there's like something, I feel like there's definitely something being solidified here. And I feel like in your past romantic life overall, there were many, many situations where you've either had to choose between people or they've had to do that to you, and you were in a space where you felt that emotional spiritual lack, okay? You felt like you put a lot of yourself in it, but the other person just never reciprocated. You felt that you were very much alone, even with the relationship partner. You felt like you were very much alone with some burden to maintain that relationship. And it was hard for you to break away from it because you've invested so much of your emotion, so much of your time, that you can't really see a way out. So I definitely feel like there is somebody in your midst right now. For those of you, especially trying to get your financial situation in order, you want to provide for them, it seems like, and you feel like you don't have enough, and you're leaving them waiting and hanging on. And I feel like if everyone is pretty much there, we're all supposed to be self-sufficient. So we're supposed to do things to enhance our own financial foundation, to take care of ourselves the way that we know how. And when it comes to relationship partners, they're supposed to enhance your life. They're not supposed to like take care of you in that way, because that's grounds for a toxic relationship. That's like the beginning of a very codependent relationship right there. So you have to go into a relationship with more of an egalitarian mindset, okay? It's not about dumping all your love, your affection, your resources, your time, and your devotion in a person. It's more about like mutual exchange, mutual rapport, reciprocity. And I feel like in the past, you might have done a lot of, the whole dumping. And this is the month in which you are going to realize, what is appropriate for me. And, like I mentioned with the monthly reading, Scorpio rules the eighth house, which deals with other people's resources, okay? So, joint resources or other people's resources or pooled resources. And what that means is that, drawing boundaries here, and this is the first time in which the whole boundary thing is showing up for Scorpio. It has shown up with Pisces and Cancer before, but this is the first time I'm sensing that with you. In terms of love and relationships, especially when you feel this sense of rootedness with another person, I feel like you need to protect your boundaries. And it's not about other people taking advantage of you. It's knowing that in every relationship, there has to be reciprocity. If you're doing all the work, it deprives the other person of, the opportunity to start things, to put in their fair share of the work. So I feel like in the past, you've approached relationships in a very unequivocal, like it's not balanced. And a lot of the time, you end up feeling very depleted. So, learning from this, you're moving on ahead with a lot more balanced mindset. You're aiming for more reciprocity. You're aiming to, I feel almost like testing the other person to make sure that they've got what it takes for the long haul before you emotionally invest in them, which is I think it's a good thing for you to do. You're holding back for sure. So that's great. I feel a lot of you are coming into contact in the past. I feel almost like you have this one significant karmic relationship, and you have many, many, many options that are made available to you in love, okay? And I see you have recently made a decision between the two. And I feel for some of you that past really karmic relationship, they're coming back in again and they're offering you love. And I feel they are sincere. And I feel that, the feelings are flooding back. They're coming back. And I'm sensing that, unfortunately, some of you are going to be walking the other way. Some of you are already aware that this situation is not healthy, it's not balanced, and regardless of how much this person has changed, I feel that you're ready for something new. And so I see one person on the one side, and I see like three other options on the other side. And I feel like you might have been pining over this person for quite some time. And I feel like you're going to make a decision by the end of this month to go with the new options, to go with the unknown, and to take a risk because you feel like the past, it was very emotionally empty. Okay, you have been left out in the cold for quite some time as a result of this person, so you might have to, go a different direction altogether. I feel for your financial situation, things are getting better slowly but surely. We are starting out with the Five of Pentacles, and that deals with, a state of dividing up assets and ending up with like half of what you were used to before. And as a result, you are going to have to make do. But I do feel like you guys are very good financial planner and organizers. So I'm not really concerned about your state. But I feel that, in time you will acquire enough in order to, have the lifestyle or maintain the lifestyle that you're used to. What I'm feeling as well is that for a lot of you, there's this whole thing about, turning your back on a situation, turning your back on a crowd of people that you, especially in the work environment, that you feel have been like, pessimistic, have been giving you false counsel, or have been like, they're very rigid. And I feel for a lot of you, there's this element of turning your back as well on people that you have known in the past, but who are no longer walking on the same life path. You might feel that they're very strict, they're very narrow minded, they're also very rigid in their ways. And they're not, the creative thinkers type. They're not the types to branch out of their geographical location, branch out of their upbringing. They're just like very, very stagnant. So you're turning your back on this situation. I feel in the work environment, you're getting positive reception. So it says here with work, slowly but surely. And I feel that things will start to pick up for you. And I feel for a lot of you, in terms of work and career, it seems like you're at this base of a mountain, base of the bottom of the mountain, and you're looking at this lush, very, very fertile land ahead of you. And there's a little bit of a climb in order to get there. And you're comfortable where you are, so you might not want to take that challenge just yet. You're taking a break and you are trying to, plan out the next phase. And I feel like in 4 months' time, that's gonna be around December. You're gonna tackle this. It seems like it's a big, big project, okay? And it seems like it's going to bear fruit, and it seems like there is some type of a knowledge gap. So you're going to have to acquire new skills or new knowledge in order to move and advance ahead. And I feel like in 4 months' time, that's when you either will complete it or that's when you're going to start tackling it. And I do sense it's going to bring great rewards for you. So I feel like this is a big thing that you're starting out on, and it's going to pan out well. What I'm also feeling is for a lot of you too, you might finally, um, like work up the courage to tell somebody how you feel. And I feel like this is something you've been debating for quite some time. And I'm sensing like this is something that's going to be coming through, and you are going to tell somebody how you feel. I really can't narrow down the sign honestly because I feel like there's like water, there's fire sign for sure. There's a water sign, there's a fire sign. There's also an air sign. The air sign is very peripheral. The main character is a fire sign. But I feel like you are finally working up the courage to tell somebody how you feel. And you have been really afraid to do this mainly because their energy is very like freedom loving, free flowing. They might not be ready for a commitment. They might travel a lot. There's an element of differences between the two of you. There's this really strong, connection between the two of you. And I'm sensing that the other person geographically might be far away from you. So you are contemplating something and offering somebody your love. And I'm gonna advise you, if you're watching this like on the 14th, 15th, and it sounds familiar, do it right away. Do it right away. Don't wait until Mercury in retrograde because I feel like that's gonna cause problems. So do it as early as you can because I feel like a lot of you are waiting until the last week, and that's when we're heading into, the midst of the Mercury retrograde period. And I feel something big happening for them. So I feel like you might get the not get the response right away, or you might, timing might be a little bit off. So if you're watching this, do it. Just take a risk and just do it. So we are ending up here with the Fool and the Three of Swords. This is not a good combination that I want to see, especially with the Fool coming out first. The Fool indicates, brand new beginnings, brand new path, brand new journeys, and you are going to have to be very careful about where you tread. And with the Three of Swords coming in right after it, it means a separation. So a lot of you might be traveling with someone, traveling to see someone, or a lot of you might have somebody leaving your life because of travels, because of work, also because of where they are situated in life, okay? Like the whole concept with timing. So if you can help it, try to make that gesture right away because I feel like it needs to be done. And you were more mulling over this for quite some time, and you were not taking the initiative. Okay, so just do it and get it done and over with. Let them know how you feel because timing might be off by the end of the month. Okay, so I do wish you all the best, Scorpio. Take care of yourself, and I'll be back in September. All right, so next up we have Sagittarius. So see, next up, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, we've got some really, really good cards. And it's funny because I'm laying out the spread here, and the good cards are wedged between, kind of like a trouble spot cards. So I feel that it's like a little a mixture. A lot of things are going to be happening for you guys for the next 2 weeks, and I feel like you're literally going to be hitting the ground running. There's a lot of communication, and I feel the communication is of the formal nature, which is like advisors, counselor, legal counsel, and official government official documents. Just I feel a lot of official stuff that's coming through. Like dentist appointment, doctor's appointment, lawyer's appointments. Getting calls from your job because there's new policies that are being implemented. So I feel like a lot of official communication. Okay. So the first thing that really strikes me here is we do have a long-standing court situation that is going to get resolved for some of you for this month. And it's going to be really, really good for you. I feel like it ends up well, and this is something that has really, really drained you emotionally. I feel like you've consulted many people about this, and you just couldn't. It was very frustrating because you couldn't do anything, to affect the outcome, to change the outcome. So I feel like it was a very frustrating environment to be in. And I feel almost like people around you, like official people that you thought were supposed to be more sympathetic, were supposed to be more like your advocate. I feel like they were asking you a lot of questions that made you feel attacked. I feel like you felt that they were supposed to be on your side, but they're asking all these abrupt, abrasive questions. And I feel like they're just trying to get to the truth, okay? And I feel like in this situation, you feel very sensitive. You feel very like victimized as well. So I feel like because of it, that whole process was really, really just uncomfortable. It was very frustrating. And you felt very alone. But I do sense for some of you, it is going to get resolved for this year, for this month, excuse me, and especially for the next 2 weeks. I do sense that either way, there is going to be some, like decision, official decision external to you that is going to be made, and that can alleviate a lot of the confusion, that can cut through a lot of the fog, okay? And I feel like it's going to go two ways. Either way, you're going to be freed from the worries, the anxiety, and the anguish. And I feel for some of you, you're dealing with a situation where, temporarily for the next like 3 months, for the next 6 months, you're going to be done with it. And then after that, you're going to have to go back, not to this specific case, but you're going to do something similar, which is like, I don't know if it's mediation or a second round of it, okay? But I feel like it's like tangentially related to the first case. The others of you are getting really good results. There might be some divvying up of assets, like a property that needs to be re-examined, that needs to be appraised or something like that, or that needs to be fixed up from the ground up. So I definitely feel you're getting really good a good outcome if it pertains to property. It seems like a good outcome. For others, if it deals with, overall health issues like an insurance claim, some legal battle regarding, malpractice or something like that, I do feel that it's going to get dragged on for a few more months, okay? But emotionally and also physically, you're going to be in a much better space. You can breathe again, you can exhale, and things are looking really good. So comparing this, the energy that I'm picking up from now versus that monthly reading, I feel like a lot of you are taking initiative. A lot of you have overcome obstacles, things that you felt were very daunting, were very convoluted, were very insurmountable. You actually took charge of your life and you climbed some mountains, you tackle some things, and you're getting rewarded for it. So I congratulate you. What I'm feeling as well is by the end of this month, there's going to be some type of a reunion, reconciliation, coming together with friends, loved ones, okay? Possibly people you haven't seen in a while. So I do feel a nice celebratory energy. I feel for a lot of you, it might be, housewarming. It might be new job promotions. It might be getting that job that you want. So I feel a lot of promotions coming through. You went through like I don't know if it's like an interview where there are multiple people and they shot questions at you left and right, and it felt really scary. But you're getting some massive like accolades as a result of it, and I feel promotions for many of you. And I feel like the promotion itself, it seems like, it feels like to me there, let's just say, hypothetically, that there were five people vying for that position, for that job, right? I feel like they were very qualified. So a lot of them might be more qualified than you, but you had the vision. Like you wanted that job not only because of the salary, not only because of the status associated with it, but you had vision, you had a plan. You knew that once I get that position, here's what I'm going to do. And so you're going to be making a lot of changes, which will positively affect this work environment. So I feel like because of it, you got the job. And that goes a long way. I feel like, credentials are important. But in terms of like explaining other people why you want something, letting them understand your passion, your stance, your beliefs, and why you're the best candidate. I feel like for a lot of you, it's when a Sagittarius is really fired up and passionate, they can move mountains. So I feel like that's what happened here, okay? And maybe, that message came belatedly. Maybe I should have mentioned that in the monthly reading. When a Sagittarius is fired up and passionate, they're very courageous and they can move mountains. So I feel like, it's like that whole adrenaline rush when you feel like your life is in danger, you can move like a whole car. So I feel like that's what's happening here. People are heavily affected, very positively though, by your energy, your enthusiasm, and you've got it. So I feel like a lot of you are moving into new jobs. You saw that there were a lot of problems in the existing work environment, you moved on, or you got into a supervisory managerial position hoping to, whip it into shape, change some things up, implement new policies from the ground up. So it looks good for you guys, especially in the work front. So I do sense, first of all, we've got an air sign. So we've got an air sign here, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And it's telling me there is a victory with this person. So I don't know what that means to you, but it says there's a victory here with this person. So there might be reconciliation. You both might, sit down, bare your heart to one another, and finally understand where the other person's coming from. So that could be a victory. What I'm feeling is this is somebody that you are heavily emotionally invested in. And I feel like it might be a family member for some of you. And there's this sense of homecoming. Maybe you're coming to see them. I feel like they're coming to see you. And I feel there is going to be celebration as a result of it. Others of you are freeing yourself from this air sign. So, it might be an ex spouse. And there is, you might move out of your home environment and, just be gone. So, the overall energy that I'm feeling is there's a lot of communication coming through for you guys for the next 2 weeks. Leave your phone charged at all times. Pick up your phone. Don't spend too much time talking on the phone with girlfriends about, like mindless things. Because I feel like call waiting might be turning on and then you might miss a call. It might go directly to voicemail. And then there's like that element of time difference where it's hard for you to like get back to the other person. So I feel a lot of important phone calls from official channels are coming through that, and you need to be there to take that call, okay? Overall, I do feel the overwhelming theme here is communication flowing again. You are sailing on to a place of safer water. You're leaving the turbulent past behind, and things are going to be really good for you guys, Sagittarius. I am so glad to see this for you because that monthly reading concerned me a little bit. So I'm glad that you're freeing yourself from bondage. The last thing that I'm feeling here is I feel a lot of concerns when it comes to family members. So I don't know if someone has gotten surgery very recently. This is somebody within your home environment or your family unit, okay? So somebody might have like recently lost their job. They're getting themselves on their feet again. They're going to tell you about it, or they're looking for work and they're a little bit concerned. But I feel a lot of concerns, especially pertaining to family members. And a lot of like, I feel that it's really important for you to reach out for your family members. I feel this sense of self-imposed isolation that you've done to yourself in the past, and I feel that you're going to have to start reaching out to people, especially start with the family. Okay, they're the most welcoming and the most forgiving, so start with the family. All right. I wish you the best, Sagittarius. I'm so glad that you're getting really positive cards and that, things are looking up. So hang in there. All right, so next up we have Capricorn. Okay, so next up we have Capricorn. So Capricorns, right off the bat, I feel like this is going to be a very, very pivotal next 2 weeks as well. A lot of new things happening. Roll with the punches and don't wait too long, okay? First off, new jobs. For a lot of you who have been waiting, I feel like it's not just one job offer coming through. I feel like you have multiple. I'm sensing very strongly two. One of them is like, I feel like there's a humanitarian slant with the first one. So the first one, I don't feel it pays as well. It might be in the private sector. It doesn't pay as well, but I feel like you feel really connected to the people that interview you. You feel very connected to the work environment or to the office or wherever, they conduct their business. You feel really in tune with their business model. You admire the people that work there, but I feel like it might be like philanthropy where the money is just not there to pay you the salary that you need to maintain a lifestyle. So I feel like you guys know how to live with less, but I feel the salary that they're giving you is just not going to help you pay the bills. The other job is very, very lucrative, and I feel that the other job, it seems to me to be, for some of you, it's just not like that 100% perfect match. But when you know that when it comes in, it's a skills building, asset building type of job, and it's going to pay handsomely. So I'm sensing a lot of you might have been deciding between these two for quite some time, or at least since the beginning of the month. And this is the month for you to, make a choice and stick with it. I don't feel you can, go wrong. And I feel a lot of you are, of course, going to take the higher paying job. And I say, of course, mainly because I sense that it is a difficult choice, but the other one is just not feasible for you to be able to pay your bills, okay? I'm seeing a huge, heavy finance energy associated with this spread. So I feel like for a lot of you, you might have been in an environment where, finances has been rough, okay? And I feel for the past 2 years, your financial situation was a little bit problematic. I see you sweating away, working a lot, but for some reason, I don't know why. If it just seems like you were working all hours of the day, but the money just wasn't coming in. So I don't know if you were just underemployed, if you were afraid to leave a job, if you were just or the if you're in an area where, it's not a robust market for employment. So I feel like if that were the case, you have broken yourself away from it. A lot of you might have moved, a lot of you might have upgraded your skills, a lot of you have, really noticed that this is becoming an issue. And if the past 2 years, if the financial situation was so problematic, I feel a lot of you have taken, opportunities to improve yourself, to make yourself more marketable so that you're more competitive on the work environment. Because I do feel a lot of financial struggles, and it was very stressful. It was very stressful. And it's not like you were sitting at home on the couch watching TV. You were working. I feel like a lot of movement happening the past 2 years, but just the money wasn't trickling in fast enough. And because of it, I feel like you're really appreciative of all the opportunities that are currently offering themselves to you or making themselves available right now. I do sense for a lot of you with children. Um, I feel like the last 2 years was hard financially to maintain everything, to stay afloat. And it makes me really sad to see this because I see like the children, I'm getting this image about eating cold food, like not having, not being at home to because you're working. And the kids were like eating cold food. That's what I'm sensing, and it's really sad. But what I feel is that, so considering where you've been and considering the fact that some of you might have children and you were struggling, I feel like, of course, you're going to take that higher paying job. And I feel that you're doing it because of the children as well. You want to be able to afford them nice things. And you're also like, you want to be home more. You don't want to work so hard. You want to work smart. And you want to have that time, leisure time to spend with your kids, to watch them grow and to like cook for them. So I feel like if this sounds familiar, you guys are getting, huge rewards because of the past 2 years of struggles. Um, I feel like there is somebody coming in, and I have an air sign showing up, an Aquarius, a Gemini, and a Libra. And this person is going to be, I don't know if, first of all, I'm getting like this is somebody that is going to revolutionize the way you work, okay? They might come in proposing like a partnership, an air sign. So Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, they might come in to give you, to bring some information to you about here's how you can work smarter. Or they could come in to provide you with job opportunities, via expanding your social network and your professional network. Or they might have some good ideas they want you on board with. For others of you who have been dealing with financial issues, I feel like this person mainly comes in as a social worker because I feel like there's some type of a governmental official that's coming through for you, and they're giving you means to take care of the kids. I feel like a social worker, children. I feel like providing social services pertaining to children. You might shift into a job that deals with that, but I do sense like, there's some people, like little people, which is like children around you, and you're trying to find ways to feed them. So I feel like it could be you might be working in a governmental institution dealing specifically to care for children, like in the foster care, in child protective services, or even via social work. And you're going to be quite happy. So I definitely feel that coming in for some of you, either in your past work environment or in the new work that you're doing. What I'm sensing as well is there is an air sign. So an Aquarius, a Gemini, and a Libra. And I feel like this person is very, very dynamic, okay? The way they live their life, they're very on the go, they're very decisive, and they're never they bounce around. And I feel like however this person shows up in your life, I feel like they're telling you, don't be so complacent, don't be stuck, don't get yourself in a rut. If you feel like you're in a rut, you need to break out. So I feel like they're giving you a lot of ideas and advice about what's the proper thing for us to do whenever we find ourselves stuck, we find ourselves at dead ends, we are afraid and fearful about moving on. So I definitely feel there is an advisor coming through for you, telling you that here's what you need to do to get yourself on track professionally, emotionally, or even just physically get yourself back, or even financially. I feel like financial consultation is coming through as well, okay? On the other hand, there is a water sign, and I'm sensing Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I feel like a lot of you might be dealing with this person in a more like, I feel, first of all, legal issues with children with a water sign. I don't feel like it's problematic, but I definitely feel it's being resolved. Okay. I do see some financial linkages. So, for example, you might link up your assets together. You might take things to the next level, take a relationship to the next level. I feel like there might be proposals, moving in together, or at least trying to find a place so that you both can live together. So, you're doing this as a unit if you're dealing with a water sign. What I'm feeling as well is there's a lot of joy and contentment here. In the past, I sensed that, one person was doing a lot of the work. The other person was like not aware. And then I feel like some type of communication breakthrough happened. And I feel like it might have happened on the 9th. It might happen on the maybe on the eclipse. We have an eclipse in Aquarius on the 18th. So it might have happened recently, and that's going to allow you both to um, reinvent yourselves and to work together as a unit. I do see a partnership forming for a lot of you, taking relationships to the next level, engagements, forming a partnership, solidifying a partnership. Solidifying a relationship. You might have been dating somebody casually, and now you're just like, you know what, you're the one, so let's date each other exclusively. I do see that coming through as well. And what I'm sensing is, for a lot of you, I feel like you and a water sign are having some type of sit down serious talk about, what's in store for us as a unit. So I feel definitely a lot of worries, anxieties have escaped, have literally left your life, and you're feeling in a good space right now. So I'm really happy to see that. And if like that first message, I'm just curious because I do see children. I see a social worker. Okay. If you are in that situation, if you could email me temperatestar@gmail.com and let me know specifically pertaining to that situation, if you don't mind sharing, because it came in so strongly, and I kept getting that image of like children eating cold food because no one was home to take care of them. So I don't know if this pertains to something that you've had to deal with as a child, or it's something that you've had struggled with for the past 2 years, and things are getting better for you financially. So either way, I'm really really happy to see this. Seeing people overcoming adversity is always a powerful feeling, and I'm so glad to see you all going. Things are getting better for you guys significantly. Okay. What I'm sensing here as well, one last thing before we go.